Hi guys, welcome back. So we're going to tie another one of our Bann Valley packs tonight, and this one is a Beadhead daddy. So as per usual, we have our list of materials and a picture of what the fly should be. So what have we got in the pack? We have knotted rubber, are they knotted rubber legs? They're sort of like a Bann, yeah they are, they're knotted rubbery legs. We have some gold brass beads, pour milk, so that'll make this fly sink. We have some brown cock hackles, red game. We have some white floss. We have another packet of hackles, slightly smaller, hackles, so I'm presuming that one is for wings and one is for the hackle on the fly. And then lastly we have our hooks. So these hooks are a size 10 long shank hook. So let's get one of those. And stick it in the vise. So a long shank lure hook. So being a bead-headed fly, we're going to have to put the bead on first. So I'm just going to get myself one of these. So if you look at a bead tends to have one hole slightly larger than the others, or than the other one. So leave the larger hole at the rear of the fly, small hole at the eye end. So that means we need to pass our hook point through the small hole first. So I'll pass that through, slide it up to the head of our fly. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to put on my tie-in thread. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to leave this tag end of my tie-in thread on. I'm going to use that to rib my fly. Then I'm going to take out my bit of my white floss here. Make my body out of that. So what I've done is I've taken a length, I'll pass it across here, tie it in across its middle, and then come forward. And then that gives me 2 strands to wrap. When I'm wrapping 2 strands of floss, one always precedes the other and it creates like an underbody. So I think it's a very handy way of tying a kind of a smooth floss body, is the double-stranded wrap. So I'm getting to the front and you can see I'm wrapping right up to the back of my bead. what I'm trying to do is use the floss to take up the whole of the bead. So I'll bind that down, and this then will stop my bead from slipping. So I'll cut off these random bits, and then I'm going to take the bit of tie-in thread that we left at the back and rib the body. Now you notice I came in the wrong, well, not wrong direction, opposite direction to what we wrapped the floss on. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of these rubber legs. And we're going to tie in a few of these now. How many do you want to tie in? You could tie 3 in the side, I suppose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tie in 2 per side. A little bit fiddly. I think that works alright. I think if you went to 3 it would kind of overload it a little bit, so I'm going to stretch these up and cut them off. And then bind down fairly tight over that. So, we're going to take our hackles now. So as I said, I've got 2 packets of hackles. These are the slightly smaller ones. You can see again someone's had to go with sizing them, which is a good thing. So my question is, am I going to wrap for a smaller hackle and leave these as the wings, or the other way around? I'm going to use the smaller hackles as the wings and the bigger hackle as the hackle. So I think I'm going to go with the big one as the hackle. So I'm just going to take the big one. I'm going to double the hackle, but don't worry if you can't do that, just wrap it in. Tie it in either by its tip or tie it in by its base. So that means I'm going to take 2 of these smaller ones as my actual wings. So 2 hackles. I'll set them up and measure them on for length, which is about, I'm going to go longer than the body, slightly longer than the body. Very nice rich brown colour. I have sort of splayed them out a little bit. Trim off their waist ends, and then I'll take my larger hackle. I'm going to tie it in by its tip, fold it back, tie across and over that, take my tie-in thread to the front, and then I'm going to wrap my larger sized hackle forward in touching turns, hopefully. to the back of the bead. Tie over, fold it back, and then trim off. Our hackle stock, and then I'll just put a couple of half hitches or whips or whatever you want to call them on behind the bead, and then I'm just going to run my varnish just behind the bead, and then I'm going to finish into that again, so at least I've got 2 layers in case one should give. I'm just going to varnish that again, and that is our Beadhead Daddy tied. I really like these legs. I think they'll produce a lot of movement in the water, so I think that'll be a really effective fly. So if you're watching the video, I hope you have the pack already, and if not, packs are available through Sebastian at bannvalley.com or bannvalley.net.